our lives. Hey, hey. Zodiac sign. Hey, type it in the chat. What's your zodiac sign? Type it in there for me. Hey, welcome to our lives. If you're new here, they call us elemental beings. Hey, we be tapping in your energy. Hey, tapping in your energy. Hey, so type it in the chat. I said, what's your zodiac sign? Hey, and if you're returning, welcome back. We're elemental beings. Hey, what's your zodiac sign? We got Aries. Hey, what's up, Aries? Hey, Aries and Taurus. Hey, hey, and can't forget the Geminis. Hey, shout out to the Geminis. Hey, what's up, Cancer? Hey, hey, what's up, Leo? Hey, go Leo. Hey, then you got Virgo. It's like, and then you got Virgo. We want to know, what's your zodiac sign? Hey, what's your zodiac sign? Hey, what's your zodiac sign? Hey, maybe a Libra. Hey, maybe a Libra. Hey, happy birthday to the Libras. Hey, happy birthday to the Libras. Hey, go Libra. What's your zodiac sign? Hey, what's your zodiac sign? Hey, maybe a Scorpio. Hey, maybe a Scorpio. Hey, Saggy. Hey, Sagittarius. What's your zodiac sign? Hey, Capricorn Aquarius. Hey, Capricorn Aquarius. Hey, a Pisces. Hey, maybe a Pisces. Hey, what's your zodiac sign? Hey, sun, moon, and rising. Hey, hey, what's your zodiac sign? Hey, air and fire. Hey, hey, air and fire. Hey, hey, earth and water. Hey, it's like, what's your zodiac sign? Hey, hey, oh, zodiac sign. Hey. Hey. And we're here with a message. Hey. We're here with a message. Hey. Accept or reject it. Hey. Hey. But we come with the message. Hey. Oh yes, the message. Hey. We got a message. Hey. Hey guys, hope you guys are doing well and positive energy and attracting the life you desire because it's your birthright, okay? We're coming through with another live for you guys, so make sure you take the message how it resonates in your life. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and don't forget, if you love the video, to share the video out, run the video up, and show it some love. We love you guys so much. What's up, Virgo? I see you.
Virgo in the building.
I see a Virgo.
So we appreciate your time and you being here. We're gonna tap in with a message, and we got some downloads. Feel a little heavy for some odd reason, all of a sudden. You carrying some weight around?
Yeah.
I don't know, but these are the downloads. So I'm gonna just jump right into them.
Get into the message.
Get into this message. When things begin to happen back to back, reflect on the seeds that you have sown. When things are happening back to back, it's not by happenstance. Reflect on the seeds that you've sown. Where did the problem begin? You might find a solution right there. Because sometimes I think that we run around and maybe we do be in denial about certain things. I've been in that place, but reflect on what you have sown. What you have sown is most likely what you've been confronted with.
Come on.
Right? Number 2, karma coming in, karma going out. Right? And I feel like that's the fluctuation. That's the energy right now. Karma coming in, karma going out. So with that being said, I think it's a time that we all should be focused on our own karma and not the karma of others. Like, don't be so focused on what's going on in other people's lives. Be focused on what's going on in your life. What are you receiving karma for? Because once you can accept that, it's easier to deal with it, right? Sometimes being willing to admit that, hey, I have a problem, right? That's the beginning of getting past it. I'll be the first one to tell you that, like, because sometimes problems are really karma. They inherit karma, right? It's not necessarily something that you ask for. It's not necessarily something that you ever seen yourself doing or a situation that you ever seen yourself being in, but yet you find yourself in it. And you might be like, man, I ain't do nothing to get this situation. Why am I here, right? It could be inherent karma, right? Well, it builds you up. It does. If you embrace it, it'll build you up. Number 3.
Character building.
Yeah, character building. Major. Even on a spiritual level.
Yep, very much so.
Number 3. Decide how you feel about you. Meaning, block out other people's opinion. Block out what's been told to you. And go inside of yourself and decide how you feel about you. Because if we don't do that, if we don't take the time to do that, we will get caught up in other people's images of us. We become lost in the sauce, so to speak. You just be lost, right? Check your foundation and make sure that you feel well about you. Are you confident in what you do? Or are you moving on account of what other people think you should be doing? Because if not, if you can't find the confidence within self to move, then you're going to find yourself moving for other people. Oh yeah, I like this one. Download a pleasant phrase, even write it down, or download it in your mind, and let it be your automatic response. Try that. I tried it. Like, I learned it from her. She taught me this download.
Oh, really?
Cause like when we first got together, every time we would go somewhere, when people was like, "Hey, how you doing?" She'd be like, "I'm fine, and how are you?" Right? It was automatic, right? And it always, like, no matter what type of mood she was in, it was her automatic response. And I watched her and I studied that, right? Because I realized I have a problem responding to people. You know, imagine, like, you know, just having a problem socially. Like, we all got problems. I had a social problem. Like, I didn't know how to respond to people. So it would push people away sometimes, you know. So I learned how to download a phrase and it became an automatic response. And it's good. Somebody, you can need that, right? And last but not least, this one is kind of real specific. I'm gonna just read it and leave it. They don't understand where your knowledge comes from. Perhaps they work with low vibrational energies to defeat you. And because you stood victorious, they assume the devil deceived them and is favoring you. They don't understand the authority of the Most High. They are limited to the monarchy of the Hades, right? And this is how dark people do things. They throw things at people that God is protecting. And when God protects them, they get mad at the devil because they feel like the devil is helping you, right? Because they only understand that. They don't, light shine into the darkness, but the darkness comprehend it not. So people don't understand God helping you. They see, people put faith in what they understand. God's protection is incomprehensible on so many levels. So just know that, right? And I say these things so you don't get caught up in people's opinion of you and wonder why sometimes they feel like certain people act funny, that do those kinds of things. That's why, because what's protecting you, they can't comprehend it. So they feel that their leader that they follow is deceiving them. Real crazy stuff, I know, but that's the download.
Okay.
All right, then.
Where you guys at? Where you guys from? Hey, what's up? You called us live. This your first time? Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. Hopefully you guys caught that download. It was actually very good. I love downloads because, you know, it gives me a minute to think, to reflect, you know, to see where I'm standing in situations. So thank you. Okay.
Well,
We got Arizona here. What's up? God bless you. What's up, guys? Okay. All right, so let's get straight into the message, right? We're going to let the cards talk. That's what we're going to do today. Someone could be needing to read here. We got water magic. I don't know. I feel like someone could literally be learning how to, work with their emotions, right? Someone's learning that emotions come in waves, you know, something like that. You could be feeling one way one moment and then a total different way the next. You know, there's something about mood swings here or something like that. There could be someone needing to literally transmute energy by reading a book. Maybe you could be needing to spend less time on social media right now and maybe more time in a specific book. There could be a specific lesson you could be needing to indulge in, I don't know, some kind of course or something like that. Someone could be thinking about going back to school. I'm seeing a book here. You know, maybe you could be teaching yourself something. You could be writing your own book, right? You could be the author right now, something like that. But it's something about water magic here. You know, I feel like this is a person who is becoming spiritually mature, right? Which that means that you're able to, you know, gauge your emotions, right? Before we just act on our emotions, because it can be very easy to just act out of emotion, right? But when you are working to become spiritually mature, which I am doing every day, and sometimes, Lord, I tell you, some days ain't as good as others, but you know, for the most part, I do pretty good. And you know, it's a challenge every day to, you know, work my water magic, right? Being able to control my emotions, because I am in control of my life. You know, I am in control of the things I can control, and the things I can't, I understand that they are above me. Something about that. Okay, it says what you seek is seeking you. So you know, I feel like, you know, this is the energy of we, you know, we attract, we don't chase kind of energy, because whatever you are seeking is seeking you. You know, when you are in good energy, you know, you smell good to the universe. The universe wants to be, you know, wants to send you things, right? Because you look good. So now it wants you to smell good. So it sends things in so you can have a good fragrance or whatever it is that you may need. It says believe, focus, intent met with destiny. Yeah, something about being in your purpose. You can see something here. Okay, I feel like there's something very clear in a situation. Definitely heavy on the reading, the studying. You know, you could be really holding back speaking right now, and you could be really observing. That's what I'm saying. You know, maybe the teacher is in you know, taking a lesson, a course, you know, going up the ladder or something like that. You know, I'm seeing someone, I don't know if you are working on a different degree. I just feel elevation. I feel like somebody, you know, your spirit is lifting. Yeah.
Enlightenment.
You know?
Enlightenment.
Someone got tired of being tired or something like that. So a person made a decision to like do something different, because in order to get different results, you figured out you had to do something differently here. And I love this for someone. No, okay? You could definitely be showing, yeah, huh? Yeah. You could definitely be showing more compassion. We got 5, 5, 5, 5. We got the quad 5s coming out for you today. Okay. I don't know. You know, 5s I normally don't like, because, you know, 5s are the number, like, you know, it's sorrow. It's like, you know, it's an energy of, it could be arguments and confrontation. But when I look at, you know, 5, 5, 5, 5, if I add that up, you know, 5 plus 5 is 10. So that tells me something complete. And then, you know, times 2, that would be 20. So that tells me that, you know, there's a cycle that is definitely over here. You know, there's something that someone literally learned. It's like, maybe I didn't learn it last time, but I understand right now, in order for me to get where I'm going, you know, it takes real growth. You know, it takes for me to really let some things go for real, like, you know, something like that. We got love, affection, compassion, kindness, attention, self-love. Okay, yeah, someone's loving their self. Someone, maybe you used to be a person that craved attention. You know, imagine, I know I did, right? Maybe in subtle ways for me, because I wasn't really a person that was real, right? But it was in subtle ways, and then I had some dramatic ways as well, I'll say, right? But, you know, imagine being a child that you really didn't get attention, affection, right? So we go out to the world and we look for things that we think are attention and affection in all the wrong places. But I feel like someone gave up on doing that. Someone's like, I'm tired of doing, you know, that. You know, I'm tired of feeling like I am the bare minimum. You know, I deserve more, right? I did a lot of work on myself. So at this point, it's time for me to, you know, really attract in what I want. And, you know, I love this for you. It says several unexpected developments will enter your life and impact how you feel. Yeah, I told you your feelings, water magic. You know, I feel like somebody can feel again. Your heart could have been cold at one point, but now, you know, your spirit is lifting up. You can feel again or something like that, or you will. Okay, something like that. This is a chance to reevaluate your identity. You know, we were talking about this the other day. There, you know, Israel, Jacob, right? You know, God gave him a new name. He took on a new name, you know, when he made a new covenant with the Most High. You know, some people, you know, when they go to different religions, they change their name legally, right? Because they are refined, they are fresh. Someone is like going through refinement right now. It's like, you know, you're literally getting your life back or something like that. Okay? You need a mental shift towards greater optimism, self-assurance, and trust. Put your faith in your gut and inner voice. Pay attention to your feelings and use them to help you become a better person. Okay.
So over here, I pretty much got a little bit of that in this as well. And first of all, I want to say, all right, myself, I'm proud of somebody, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give you what the card is giving me. It says responsibility, walk away, fresh start. Whoa, that's the hardest thing. Like that's the hardest thing to face and get through. Because I feel like somebody's on both sides of it.
Easier said than
Somebody
done.
is in a situation where you have a responsibility to walk away. But on the other side of that is a fresh start. And then you have somebody, you already done it, right? And kudos to you because this is not easy, right? Now, it says the responsibility is being clarified by enlightenment, right? Study, walk away. What's happening is you being called to a higher place, right? When I say walk away, people don't look at what God is giving you, right? Say, because people get it wrong, so I'm gonna clear it up right now. If God gave you anything, if God truly gave it to you, there's no way you should be thinking about walking away from it. So don't use it to justify, because a lot of people, you in situations that God put you in, and you messing it up because you like, the reader said walk away. No, I'm talking about the thing that you know is destroying you. You got a responsibility to walk away from it because it says enlightenment and study. So you're being called to go to a higher place, right? And this is not an easy place, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. Fresh start, being clarified by guilty. It's called survivor's guilt. You know when you guilty over your fresh start? It's called survivor's guilt. It's a real thing. Look it up. When you survive certain traumas, certain phases in life, and you come out on the other side of it, it's so hard to embrace the blessing, right? Even though you know it's preserving you, even though you know you're healthier, even though you know your mind is better, it's a part of you that will attempt to remember the little bit of good things that happened when you was the low version of yourself. This the little thing. It'll try to convince you to forget all of the wonderful things that's happening for you. And it'll try to remind you of the little things so you can dwell, and this will produce what's known as survivor's guilt. Now, the thing about survivor's guilt is it's not a good energy because it can damage your present motion. Like if you busy feeling guilty about making it through what you made it through, are you really ready to go and get more? Don't allow that to happen, right? Responsibility, walk away, fresh start. I feel like, like I said, either you in this situation or you already went through it. And either way, God bless you. Because it's something that we all been through. We wouldn't be sitting here right now unless we went through that.
I love this. I love this energy. And I knew it. I said regeneration. We got hibernation and regeneration. It is crazy because, right before we got on live, my husband is he's a very creative person, and I was just thinking about, the creative aspect of his mind. And, I told him, I said, there's a thing that I want him to do. And I was like, but I know he'll get back to it very soon because I could feel like, a regeneration, a hibernation coming. I know there's something coming, right? And so I could feel it. And, I feel like this is for you too. You could be having deja vu moments right now. You could be seeing yourself in places. You could be envisioning yourself in the next part of your journey. You could be itching to get there. You could be really feeling like you're stepping into something or something like that. And so I feel like right now it's a time to rest. right? You can be needing to like lay on your thoughts for a moment. I know there's things that we all want to do, but I feel like these are things that we need to be very strategic at, and it's going to take time to really think about the next move, even though, someone like me could just be wanting you to do it, right? Because sometimes we allow people to move us when it's not really time to move, because you got to move when God is telling you to move. No matter if it's your mate, no matter if it's your children, no matter who it is, in order to make the right move, you have to hear the voice of God telling you to move. When you stop moving at the beat of your own drum and you allow yourself to hear the voice of God, then you can move correctly, right? That's when you begin to play chess and not checkers. Something about that. We got difference. Someone is tired of the same thing. And so I feel like, in the beginning of the message, I said, in order for you to have a different outcome, you have to do something different. And someone's been doing that here. Someone's making a difference in their own life. We got number 1414 here. You could be 28 years old. You could have a 14-year-old child. Or, you could have really gone through something traumatic at 14 years old that really caused, a different kind of shift in your life, Someone could have really needed to protect you at 14, and maybe they didn't protect you. And now, you're living your life different because, you really had to dig into your wounds, your childhood traumas and wounds. That's why we had compassion. Someone had to, learn compassion because nobody was ever compassionate to you. And I feel like now you're seeing something different here. We got intelligence, making a difference, failures, personal or spiritual development. Happiness is linked to self-expression, growth, and experience. Learning from failures is key. Happiness is real, possible, and around. Understand it's a process in the pursuit of it. Joy is fluid. It's in the little things and the big ones. Fails are fun and start fresh, okay? We got number 1414 out here, okay? It's time for something different, yeah. Even looking at failures different, because failures are actually lessons, so that if you do it again, you won't do it the same way, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't do it again. It's a lesson in everything. And if you find the lesson in things, then, we begin to learn that, a lot of times we're in our own emotion, our own pride, in our own way. Something like that. Okay? Someone can have a favorite blanket here or something. I don't know if you have a child that runs around with a blanket. Somebody's nickname could be blanket. Something about a blanket.
It says, slow down, Cupid.
Ooh.
And I'm sitting here in my intuition like, what is this saying to me, right? And basically, what I'm getting from this is somebody got a misconception of what love is in this energy. Like, you could be thinking that you need love to complete you in a certain way, right? And what this can lead to is you can meet people and you can draw to them fast, right? Because maybe they possess, like, for instance, Aries is on my mind, right? Aries can be significant. Now, the Aries quality is this. You can be so drawn to the way that an Aries look that you will forget all of the other things that you need in a mate. Not saying all Aries are like that, but it's just an archetype. And this could be, you could be being victimized by this in your own right, by choosing people and choosing love and choosing to love and being willing to love so quickly, right? You can need to slow down with that, somebody, because love is very important, but balance is key. And when you give your love to certain things, right, you can't then forth ask the universe, well, why am I going through this, or why is this biting me? Because your love is powerful. Your love is so strong that if you give it to an enemy, you can protect the same enemy that's destroying you on the inside of your love.
We fall in love with illusions a lot of times,
Love is a powerful energy. Do you know the Bible says that love covers a multitude of sin? You know what that means? Like I just told you. If you love the wrong person and they want to destroy you, they can be protected while destroying you. Because why? Your love, it covers a multitude of sin. Pure love. That's why we gotta be careful what we love and the way that we love. Because there's levels to love. You ever heard somebody say it's a difference between being in love and loving somebody? Very true. I gotta say, because the connection is way more dangerous when you in love with a person that's destructive. Strength lies in your peace. Right here. Peace and strength. And it's a small audience. But if it's only reaching one person, that's cool. I just need you to know. These cards are telling me that slow down and seek what's peaceful. That's where your strength lies, and your peace. And I know this feeling because I'm like that. Thank you, Spirit. I'm strongest when I'm at peace. I'm strong because when I'm at peace, I can tap into different things. Continuous learning and feelings, right? So you're being called again to a higher level of understanding, meaning in spite of how you feel, it's about continuously learning. This is like you being called, somebody being called to rise above their emotions, honestly. Maybe you need to learn from what you're going through or what you went through. I feel like both things going on. Somebody, you going through something and you being called to learn from it. I don't particularly like it. I mean, I don't like the energy, but I know what it's like. Some of us, we hard-headed. And I'm gonna tell you, I've been a hard-headed one. A hard head definitely make a soft, and make a soft one for you. So,
I put tarot, but I've been a hard head in life.
what?
But if you pray, God will show you. Grab your hand, make a chance, He will mold you. The world will use and abuse you, chew you up, spit you out, and confuse you. Gabriel to the rescue.
He's coming in with his sword to protect you.
Archangel Michael to the rescue. He's coming in with a sword to protect you. Strength card.
To the Queen of Wands.
We got the sun and stars out here. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this is almost like the energy. I really feel like this is a competitive energy. You know, the sun and both the stars light up the sky, but they have two total different, jobs. You know, one is for the daytime and one is for night. And I don't know if there's a person competing in a position, for a spot in a place where, but there's no need to compete where someone can't compare because, there's two people with two totally different destinies, two different journeys. They both have a position, and I feel like they could be at odds. I don't know if this is a couple, because, the sun does represent a man, masculine energy. Okay. You also got the moon out here, divine feminine. So there could be, a need for a balance here. There's two people that are needed in a situation, but just different, or maybe in different situations, right? In different ways. There could be two people that have two different knowledges, but they're both relevant or something like that. We got 11/22 out here. This could be your birthday. November 22nd could be significant. Okay. It says major change. Advice, comfort, major change, individuality, independence, okay? Have faith in your skills and talents as they are tools that can provide you with a bright future. A piece of good advice, a moment of enlightenment, or a comforting message is on the way. Everything will work out in your favor. And then we have, it says, the world is not a mountain that echoes your words. Reflection, seeing affects what you do matters. Okay, I'm sorry. seeing effects. What you do matters, okay? Yeah, something like that. So, you know, I feel like change, major change is very important. What you do is very important right now. You know, the law of attraction says that what you put out into the universe is what you get back. And that's sevenfold, you know? So if you put out trash into the universe, you get trash back into your life, right? If you put out good energy into the universe, you get good energy back. You ever had somebody, you know, pay for your food in front of you in line or something like that? You ever had somebody pick up your grocery bill? Those kind of things. Because the universe says that what we put out is what we get back, you know, tenfold, you know. That's why they say signs and wonders, right? Miraculous things happen. You know, what you do in the dark, it shows in the light. These are signs and wonders that happen. Something like that, major change. You know, someone needs to stick to their individuality. I was speaking about that the other day. I remember back, like, you know, when Moesha, when Brandy was out, you know, people had their own individuality. You know, I used to watch a show called Blossom, and she wore all these different hats, and, you know, she was really dope.
Was that, what show was that?
Her name was Blossom. She had, like, different, you know, they would Punky
like
Brewster.
Punky Brewster?
Yeah, you know.
I remember that.
You know, like different things like that, you know, individuality, you know. Someone, you know, is finding independence. I don't know, I just seen a cat running across my mind. So something significant about a cat. I don't know if someone needs to get their cat some litter, okay? Clean out your cat's litter box or something like that. Or, you know, oh, look, it's a cat right here as well. Yeah, okay? Something about someone's cat, okay? I don't know, your vibration could be off, your energy could be off, and the cat could be, you know, staying away from you. Cats can pick up negative energy.
Yeah.
You know, they don't like the feel of it. They don't like the vibration.
Cats walk in both worlds.
Okay.
A lot of realms.
Right? Something like that. Okay? Your animal could definitely be acting a little different. And, you know, when your energy is off, they pick it up. So, something like that.
I heard the name Alfonso, Doreen, Benjamin, and Scotty.
Okay.
I normally don't hear that many names at once, but I did. Right? It says, expand your horizons, potential, and pause. I feel self-awareness. Somebody, maybe you're not aware of just how strong you may be. I'm hearing strong, right? Because I'm pretty sure you know how weak you are, right? We are always reminded of how weak we are, right? Especially, like, you know, against our vices, what people done said, but we really don't be knowing how strong we are. And that's why I love this. It says, expand your horizons, potential, and pause. So you gotta stop in this energy. And maybe you need to reevaluate who you are, right? Sometimes it's not that the world get it effed up about who you is. It's about we get it effed up about who we is. We don't take the time to start beginning to know who we are. And that's what it's, and it says surprise, link, confusion, right? I just feel like it's a bunch of self-awareness, it's a bunch of discovery that needs to go on with you, viewer, whoever you are. Like it says, expand your horizons and potential. Expand your horizons, it means that you have to break out of your limited way of thinking, whatever is making you limited or causing you to be limited. And this is not a matter of faith. I don't know, we live in a day where people, I see why God used to forbid certain things from people that was permitted. You ever read the Bible and it'd be like, well, one minute they could burn incense, and then the next minute God told them not to. It's because soon as people get confused, they sacrifice their faith. And that's why God forbid certain things. That if you'll once you get that, you'll feel that God will allow you to do a lot of things and he'll still be with you. And people won't understand it. That's why you gotta expand your own horizons, right? Whatever you, because over here we pretty much focus on the Most High, right? And that's generally our message. Pushing towards your North Node, your higher self. In order to do that, you're going to have to expand your horizons here and tap into your potential. Right? Surprise link. All seekers of truth will experience confusion. Ask the universe to provide the answers you need. Yeah, it's time for you to discover who you are. Certain things only you can do. Certain things nobody can help you with.
I'm just looking at her have an episode or whatever she's doing. You have seen my descent, now watch my rising, breakthrough, success, overcoming all obstacles. No, this is not going to resonate with everybody because this is not for everybody, you know, but this is for someone, you know, someone has a breakthrough, you know, success, overcoming obstacles because, you know, you decided to stay up late at night. You decided to get up early in the morning. You decided to do the things that you didn't want to do. You were a person that was willing to, you know, push yourself to go a little bit further each and every day. It's something like that. We got Speak Your Mind showing up. So it's very important to speak your mind in all situations right now. There could be something that you need to say, something that you want to say. And I feel like, you know, God is saying, make sure that you say this, whatever it is. Okay? You know? You know, when I look at this card, it's like they're blowing on, what do you call it, baby? The dandelions? Right?
Yeah.
You know, they're blowing dandelions, and it makes me think of, you know, where in the Bible it says you have not because you ask not, you know? Right? Something like that. It says, you know, speak your mind. You know, you could be really needing to speak out. And then we got the quad fours coming out. 4, 4, 4, 4. And it says benefits. Okay? There could be a benefit to you speaking up, asking for what you need, you know, making a prayer, you know, saying affirmations. I remember my husband said something about putting an affirmation in your phone and making sure that you know, you stick to it for 30 days. You know, they say in 21 days, anything that you do in 21 days becomes a habit, right? So if you want to create a new habit, you know, schedule something in your phone, right? A positive affirmation for the next 21 days and challenge yourself just to do that. That's a start, right? Somebody's like, I don't feel like doing nothing. Well, that's the easiest thing you can do for 21 days is to create a habit of saying something positive to yourself, right? Take stock of your accomplishments and how you arrived at them. This is a reminder to remain optimistic and drive towards your goals. Maintain your momentum and know the powers of heaven have your back. You made it, and the reward goes to you. Okay, I love this. The reward goes to you. Because, you know, eventually, I told you, when you keep planting seeds, eventually they sprout and the harvest is there. And when the harvest comes, the farmer is ready to pick the crops so that the people can eat. It's time to break bread. Something like that, you know? Something about results here, you know? I don't know. The things that you're doing, they're starting to show up, right? I don't know. If you've been working out, the results are showing, you know? If you've been eating clean, it's showing up. Your skin's looking better, whatever, right? If you've been refraining from things, it's showing up. You're showing up stronger, right? Something about your reflection. There could be someone, and maybe you haven't really stepped in the mirror lately and looked at your reflection. You know, maybe you don't know where you are right now. Sometimes you need to take a moment and look at yourself, right? What do you see when you look at yourself, when your reflection? There's something that's complete here, okay? I feel like there's something that you truly want, you truly desire, and maybe you haven't really asked for it in a way. Maybe you've been asking amiss. Something like that.
Quickest way to not get what you want.
You know? There could be someone needing to ask for something in detail, right? You know, specific. You know, take some time with it, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you ask with a purpose.
You can't really ask for something that you're not prepared to receive. Like, if you ask for something from God, you got to be prepared to receive it. Or how would he be justified in giving it to you? Like, somebody asking God for money, but if your mind is imbalanced and let's say you want money, what you gonna do with it? Are you gonna destroy yourself if the money come in? I'm asking because I was in that situation before. I wanted money so bad, you know what I'm saying? God got tired of me. All right, boom, here you go. I almost took myself out. It was so dreadful that I told my wife, when I spent all of it and it was all gone, I was relieved. I was like, phew, I can rest now. You know what I'm saying? So somebody got a heavy heart, right? And first of all, because the heart chakra is out here, heart, right? Anahata, let go. What makes the heart heavy, the heaviest? I feel this energy, right? This is a heart that you have too many things in there. You know how the heart just want to hold on to certain things? I feel like somebody, you got to let go of what you got stuck in your heart. It's kind of hard, right? I'm not really familiar all the way with this feeling, but this reading is brilliant. It says, abundance shared with others, barrier, moment. I love it, right? If you can let go enough to put a barrier up in your heart, it's abundance in that. Like you can unbind your heart because your heart will be bound. Trauma binds the heart, right? It's not always spell work. Sometimes people hurt you so much it feel like spell work. So your heart chakra close down, boom, right? And you hold in the memories of what could have been. You hold in the memories of people who were not so good for you. Instead of really looking at it like, God wants me to understand that was a bad situation. I learned from it. I don't need to hold it no more. Right? Share with others in moment. This is the brilliant part. Your story really matters. Whoever you are, share with others in moment. I don't know if somebody attends meetings. I don't know if somebody, you just have a story and it's relatable. Maybe it can help heal or free people in your environment, right? Just sharing your story, moments, right? And therapy is always an option for somebody, because this is heavy energy, I feel. So somebody, therapy is always an option. People like us, you can tap in with us. We good people. We help a lot of people on a spiritual level, especially when it comes to heart. You can do cleanses too to help you get your heart chakra in motion. You can do a spiritual cleanse and go on a diet. It doesn't have to be a fast. It can be a cleanse and a certain type of diet. It's certain type of fruits and stuff that strengthen the Anahata chakra. And it helps you let go. We put ourselves through it. It really helps you let go of things that have your heart heavy. I almost want to cry. And yeah, I'm going to leave it here. But just know, like, whoever this is, like, we're available and we help a lot of people get through a lot of situations. So if you're in a situation where you feel like there's nobody you can talk to, we here to be able to talk to you. All right? All right, God bless you.
Yeah. And I see exactly what you mean here. You know, someone could be at a crossroad right now, you know, releasing a lot of energy. It could be overwhelming when you are, you know, releasing energy, letting go, moving on, walking away from things. It can be a lot, you know, but also at the same time, we got strength and resilience. So, you know, someone is very resilient and strong in a situation. And, you know, while it does hurt to let go of certain things, this is justice for a person. Number 13, 13 is here. 26 could be significant. You could be 26 years old, okay? Your parent could be 62. And this is justice, change, rebellion, guidance, justice, truth, character, and love, okay? So I feel like, this is the energy of where you're strong in a situation, you're resilient in a situation.
Even justified.
You know, even justified in a situation, truthfully, you know? And it says, get ready for good things you've been hoping for. You were born for a higher calling. Put your energy in towards going towards your ambitions. And the universe will align itself to provide you with the right people, circumstances, and resources to make everything happen. Yeah, this is justice. Divine justice is here in a situation. You know, I'm really seeing a person that, like, while everybody else was going and doing spell work, they turned and they started doing things that were not, of a high vibration. You just decided to just let them go, let things go, You didn't decide to tap into things that were negative, low vibrational energies. Okay? It says reason is powerless in the face of love, romance, communication, and listen to your heart. You could have listened to your heart in a situation, and because of this, you received justice. Okay? Someone could have thought, like, they were one-upping you in a situation, but really, they weren't one-upping you. It was divine justice for you. A situation that had to be released in your energy. I feel like what you had to go through it to gain strength. Okay? There was a situation that, like, probably almost broke you. You really bent, but you didn't break. But it really, strengthened resilience, You had to go through this situation, and you could be releasing, still some of the energy from this, right? You could be still letting go some of the trauma, some of the pain. You could still be dealing with some of these things, right? Healing is a process. It's like, we're not 100% healed. We're always healing. It's a journey, right? You can't heal, 20 years of trauma, right? In 2 years. You can't heal 40 years of trauma, 30 years of trauma in a year and a half, right? On a 5-year spiritual journey. It takes, a long time to really heal some of these wounds, because it took a long time for some of those wounds to develop as well. Because, the evil is patient. So some of those wounds were inflicted a little bit at a time until you didn't realize anymore how big the sore had become.
Over here in this reading, right, it's not so heavy, but it's, again, reassess, honor yourself, and make a change. The initial reading I had was walk away, right? Reassess, honor yourself, and make a change. Like, at some point, we all gotta come to a decision where we choose us. Like, in the equation. Like, because the math ain't mathing. Like, if you always in the back of the equation, or you always being subtracted from in the equation, and you never being added to, right? Mathematically, it don't math. So Spirit is saying, reassess and honor yourself, right? You gotta be willing to be like, Nah, I deserve better than what I'm settling for. I know it sounds like it's cliche, but it's a real rhythm. Sometimes we need to hear from other people, because if you didn't have the ability, whoever you are, to do these things, reassess, honor yourself, and make a change, Spirit wouldn't be putting it out here so strong in this, on this here algorithm right now, right? Reassess, honor yourself, and make a change. That's a responsibility. That's when we come to the place where we gotta be like, nah, me over that. Me over that right there. Like, me over that, me over them, me over them, me over all them. Me, and it's not selfish at all. It's godly. Because if you don't choose you, you will never be no benefit, especially to a higher source. Like, what you'll be is you'll be an energy. You'll be like a you know them people in the horror movies that the vampires, some of them, they had real strong blood, so they'll just keep biting them, keep biting them, and keep biting them. Do you want to be that victim? Because you don't have to. All you got to do is reassess and honor yourself. And I know somebody say, well, it's not always that easy. It is, but you got to change the way that you processing. Somehow you processing life with you in the back all the time. You in the back of the equation. And maybe you cool with it, but maybe your ancestors not. Maybe God is not pleased with you always being in the back of the equation. So you gotta make a change, right? This is a masculine. This is a man, look. Every card is masculine. I just heard the name Dexter and Lucille. Lucille.
Yep, period.
My soul sleeves, we always come out clean.
Period.
You heard me. Who wrote that right there?
A.
Okay, A. That was proverbial.
We got learn from life coming out. I told you, it's all about the lessons. You know, like, you know, are you gonna keep turning the page to the same chapter and reading that same chapter over and over again, or are you gonna really learn from the entire book? Something like that. It says learn from life here. Okay, there could be someone rejecting wisdom and not really realizing it. We got 222 coming out with wonders. Okay. Great transformation, major changes, opportunity, fast pace, forward, and progress. Okay? You aren't a victim of circumstances, rather you are the beneficiary of it. If that weren't the case, life would be pretty dull. You will set yourself up for success in the long run if you are willing to adapt to this shift. Everything is working out for the best. At long last, you are accomplishing what you set out to do. So if you're not accomplishing what you set out to do, that means that what you're set out to do, you know, you need to change it, right? Something like that. Because it says you are accomplishing what you set out to do, right? So that means, what are you taking action on, right? The things that you're taking action on, you know, the things that you are learning from, you know, those things are, your life is increasing in those areas. Something about distance here. You could be separated from someone, separation, space, and blockages. Okay? I feel like you could have definitely put yourself some distance from someone. You're not a victim, you're a chosen one. This is the life you're supposed to live. You ain't supposed to run. Like, your life is not meant to be easy, you know? If your life was easy, you know, you wouldn't be who you are. You are who you are because of the things you have gone through. It gave you character. It was character building. We got commitment, yeah, marriage, promises, infidelity, okay? Someone is honest and committed. Now, you could be committed in a committed relationship, or you just could be committed to the commitment, you know, your purpose. Something like that. Okay? You could be needing to be more committed to something, to reading. I'm getting reading a lot. I don't know if someone just goes with the flow of listening to everything that everyone else says or something like that, but someone could be really needing to fact check or something like that. Okay? Maybe getting more knowledge from a thing.
Somehow you need a solid source of, you probably need a solid source of friends.
Could be that.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that we should all learn to be more friendlier. Because you'll soon learn there's probably not a lot of people like you.
Right.
Right? In your immediate environment. So you have to come up with ways to connect yourself with people that can inform you. Right? It's hard. I understand. It says taking action, gratitude, maintain discipline. You know, I'm gonna say this, and this might be something that people be like, oh man, but do you know a morning prayer of gratitude, it shifts things. Like when Spirit says take action, mind you, a message from Spirit telling you to take action, I can guarantee you is not talking about taking a physical action first. When Spirit says take action, it's always starting deep on the inside. That kind of action, right? To shift something. Gratitude is an energetic, I'm telling you, it's a leveler. Like if you can say, tomorrow when I wake up, I'm gonna grab hold of the energy of gratitude. I'm gonna look around at everything I got, no matter how small it is, and I'm gonna go through my mind and I'm gonna truly be grateful. I'm gonna resonate in that gratitude. You will shift the outcome of your day tomorrow if you do it. I really mean it. Even if you come out of the energy of gratitude and you get back to your normal self, that time in the energy of gratitude, it will be an action that you take. And sometimes that's all we need is to remember that we can take a spiritual action, right? Gratitude. Maintain discipline. And this is about, I feel like, not only, you know, somebody, you have to grab something that's powerful, but spiritual, right? Not spell work or none of that. I'm talking about a sincerity, right? That you can a sincerity that can reach you, you know, that can get you to what God is, what source is, right? And that's somebody action probably that need to be taken. Like it's kind of hard to explain it the way I'm feeling it, but start with gratitude, somebody. Like learn how to show more gratitude, right? Show the universe that, hey, thank you, God, thank you, you know? Yeah, I'm about to go and yeah. Well, this kind of energy was a little bit heavy tonight, right? But we here for it, and we here for you, whoever you are. If you decide you want to reach out, we're actually trying to put together a Zoom list, and we got 2 people already. So we got 3 people actually. So make yourself the 4th, and we could get together. We could chop it up. And you know, we can help one another out. And play us out a little something.
You're welcome. We love y'all. Thank you. Thank you for your energy. We just clearing up this energy. Hey. And now we rich in the spirit. We rich in the spirit. Transmute, manifest. Deep breath. And we just clearing out this energy. We just clearing out this energy. Ain't got no time for no enemies. Pouring back into me.